Good morning, students. This is 12th standard botany video class, video 4. In this video, we are going to see the lesson classical genetics. Dear students, last video class we have seen that is different characteristic feature which is observed in the pea plant, that is garden pea plant by Mendel, and also how this 7 character which is located in the different chromosomes. These characteristic features are determined by the single gene which is present in different chromosomes, that also observed by Mendel. After Mendel's period, this Mendel's experimentations were rediscovered by 3 scientists, that is Hugo de Vries, Karl Correns and Erich von Teschemark. Then the different terminology which is related to the Mendelism, that is each gene which are having the alternative form is called alleles. So these alleles which are present in the pair which are showing same character means homozygous, different characters means heterozygous. If they are dominant means that is homozygous dominant, recessive means homozygous recessive. Dominants are symbolized in capital letter, recessive alleles are symbolized in the small letter. The pair of alleles which are having one dominant, one recessive means that is named as heterozygous tall plant, that is heterozygous alleles. These are all the terminology related to the Mendelism. Then we have seen laws proposed by Mendel. One is law of dominance, another one is the law of segregation. The law of dominance which are proved that 2 different character of a plant which is pure breeding cross together to form a F1 generation. Both the different alleles are expressed in the F1 generation, but it is denoted as a dominant because one of the character is suppressed by dominant allele. So all the F1 generation which shows the dominant character only, even though both the alleles are present there, but it is denoted as a dominant. But in the F2 generation, both dominant as well as the recessive character, that is both the parental character which are expressed in different ratio, that is said to be law of dominance. Next one, law of segregation. The alleles which do not blending their characters, but it is expressed in the different form in both the generation, but in F1 generation only the dominant characters are expressed, but in the F2 generation and F3 generation both dominant and recessive characters are expressed. So the gamete which are receiving 2 factors from the different parent, but it receives only one of the 2 factors from the parent, even though they are having different parental characteristic feature, but receiving only one factor. That factor, if it is similar, means named as homozygous, that is different means heterozygous. So the law of segregation, otherwise named as law of purity of gametes, proved that gametes are never hybrid. So gametes which are expressing only one of the character, but different alleles are present, but it is not considered to be a hybrid. So gametes are never hybrid. So both the laws are explained with the cross. is the monohybrid cross. In that monohybrid cross, Mendel has chosen only one character, that is single character. That's why it is named as monohybrid cross. 2 mark question. What is monohybrid cross? Monohybrid cross is the inheritance of a single character. That is said to be monohybrid cross. Mono, which means single. Mendel has chosen only one character. That cross is named as monohybrid cross. Particularly he has chosen plant height. That is tall plant and dwarf plant. So these monohybrid cross, which are expressing the characteristic feature in genetical as well as the morphological. Genetical expressions are named as genotype. Morphological characters are named as phenotype. Both genotype and phenotype, which is drawn in a graphical representation, is named as Punnett square, was first denoted by the scientist C. Punnett, Ronald C. Punnett. So thus monohybrid cross, which are proving law of dominance and law of segregation. The ratio of the monohybrid cross is 3:1, 3 tall plant and 1 dwarf plant. There is 3 of them which are showing 2 different alleles. That is capital T dominant and small t, that is the recessive allele. So capital T with small t is named as heterozygous tall plant. Capital TT is named as homozygous tall plant. And small tt, which is named as homozygous recessive plant. So here, one parental character, that is TT, tall plant, one dwarf plant, that is small tt. Between that one, the capital T and small t, that is said to be the hybrid, named as heterozygous tall plant. So even though both the alleles are present, but the dominant characters are expressing, the another one is the suppressed, but it will be expressed in the F2 generation. That is said to be monohybrid cross, which gives the explanation of 2 laws of Mendel, that is law of dominance and law of segregation. Dear students, up to this only we have seen in the previous video class. Today we are going to see the remaining crosses, that is reciprocal cross, Mendel's analytical and empirical approach, test cross, that also divided into 2 types, heterozygous and homozygous test cross. Then how the tall plant, that is tall plant of a pea plant, which is modified into dwarf plant. The molecular explanation of the pea plant is also we are going to see in this video. Another important one, what is backcross, dihybrid cross, the ratio of the dihybrid cross, how round seed of a pea plant which is modified into wrinkled. That molecular reason or explanation also we are going to see in this video. Dear students, reciprocal cross. So in the first experiment, there is monohybrid cross. Mendel has taken only one character, that is tall character. That is height of the plant, tall and dwarf. That also he has chosen pure breeding plants. What is pure breeding plants? Several generations, the hybridization process has taken place and they have produced the progeny. After several years, they have produced the progeny. They are named as two breeding plant. So in this reciprocal cross also, a tall pea plant is crossed with a true breeding dwarf plant. Noted down, the tall pea plant, it's not a true breeding, but the tall pea plant is pollinated, that is crossed with true breeding dwarf plant. The F1 generation result is all are tall plant. Now we are going to reverse the parental character. What is that one? The pollen from the tall plant was used to pollinate a dwarf pea plant, which gave only tall plants. Dear students, see the lines. First one, they have taken the tall pea plant, is pollinated with the pollen from the two breeding dwarf plant. So that means a tall plant flowers are removed the pollen grains by the experimenter. Then the pollen of the true breeding dwarf plants are transferred to the tall pea plants. Result in the F1 generation are tall plant. Likewise, in the second, that is reversible cross was taken place. The pollen from the tall pea plant is transferred, the pollen from the tall plant was used, and we have to take the dwarf pea plant without pollen grains. So the pollen of the tall pea plant is transferred to the dwarf pea plant. At the time also, they have produced the tall plants. So both the crosses which are proving the same result, that is all tall plant. We are changing the parental character also. They are producing the tall plant. This type of cross is called a reciprocal cross. We are changing the parental character, but they are giving the same result, that is all are tall plant. First one, tall pea plant are pollinated with the pollen of the dwarf plant, all are tall. Second one, the pollen of the tall pea plant is pollinated with the dwarf pea plant, that also giving the tall plant. So the same result is given in both the reversible crosses. Dear students, see the symbol is given here. First reciprocal cross, what you have taken? Tall pea plant, that is the female, is pollinated with the pollen of dwarf plant. So all are tall plant, okay. And the second one, the pollen of the tall pea plant, that is the male plant, is pollinated with the dwarf pea plant, act as a female. In both the ways, they are giving the same result, that is all are tall plant. That type of cross is called a reciprocal crosses. Reciprocal crosses means we are exchanging the parental character, but they are giving the same result. That crosses are called a reciprocal crosses. At all the time, reciprocal crosses are giving the same result. So that the conclusion of this reciprocal cross is, the character of a plant is not depending upon the sex organs. So the Mendel's monohybrid crosses were not sex dependent. That's why the Mendel has proved the cross of the monohybrid cross is not depending upon the sexual character. It is depending upon the characteristic feature. that is morphological future. It's not depending upon the genetical future. That is said to be not sex dependent. So this type of crosses are called reciprocal crosses. Dear students, the gene of the plant height has the two alleles. One is the tall for T and the dwarf for T. The phenotypic and genotypic ratio of the crosses has been shown by the checkerboard, that is Punnett square board method, or by Foulkine method. That means the graphical representations are given by the scientist C. Punnett. That checkerboard is named as Punnett square. So in all the monohybrid cross, dihybrid cross and a test cross, we have to draw a checkerboard. In that board, we have to mention the both phenotypic ratio and genotypic ratio. That method is called checkerboard method or Foulkine method. Dear students, see the box line. This is said to be the checkerboard or Foulkine method. Checkerboard method or Foulkine method. So here all the genotypic and phenotypic ratio are measured here. So this is said to be checkerboard method or Foulkine method. First one, see the first square, capital R, capital Y, Y is there. R means round, Y means yellow. That is the phenotypic color. Okay. Then it is denoted by the symbol capital R and capital Y. YY is the genotypic symbol. Both are given in the board is called checkerboard method or Foulkine method. This is the just example only. We will see later. Dear students, we are going to see the Mendel's analytical and empirical approaches which is used in the different crosses. Each and every crosses, Mendel which are using different trait or a character. So that is single gene with a two character in an alternate form, that is called allele. That also which are showing contrasting character. It mentioned that single gene which are expressing the two distinct factor, that is two distinct characters are exist. Why he has written factors here means in Mendel's period there is no name for a gene. It is measured as a factor only. So the each factor which are showing two contrasting trait or character. One is the recessive trait. This trait do not disappear in the F1 generation, but it is hidden. Then it will be expressed in the F2 generation. See the line given here. That is the recessive trait do not disappear, but it will be reappear in the F2 generation. For example, if you are taking 1% means quarter percentage of the recessive character which is expressed in the F2 generation. With the help of this characteristic feature, Mendel has concluded the tall and dwarf alleles of F1 generation heterozygote which is segregated randomly into gametes. That means we have taken tall plant, that is TT, In the dwarf plant, that is small tt, both of them crossed together. In the F1 generation, a pair of capital T, we are getting one capital T, and the pair of small tt, that is recessive one, we are getting one small t. So that capital T with a small t is the F1 gamete, which is known as heterozygous. Why it's said to be heterozygous? The gamete which contains both the alleles. But what will happen? The recessive characters are hidden or suppressed. The dominant only expressed. So the F1 generations are named as heterozygous tall plant. Okay. So at the end of the monohybrid cross, he mentioned the ratio 3:1. 3 characters are dominant and 1 is the recessive character. So this is the quantitative analysis was given by the Mendel. He was the first scientist who was given the quantity analysis of the genetical character or biological experiment. So Mendel's data are expressed with the proportions of the offsprings. That means newly formed offsprings. Based upon the offsprings only, he has mentioned the data, that is quantity of the analysis. Next one, analytical approach. The previous paragraph we have seen the empirical approach. In this paragraph we are going to see analytical approach. Mendel's approach is truly an outstanding achievement. So he has given the ideas, a factor which is present inside the chromosome or in the organism body, which carry the genetic material present from the parental one to the next generation, is named as factor in Mendel's period. Now they are called as genes. So these factors only transferring the genetic material from one generation to next generation. So Mendel's experiments are well planned to determine the relationship of the hereditary character, that is trait. So this rationale is called an empirical approach. The laws also produced from the empirical approach. These laws are named as empirical laws. So what he has concluded means each and every organism having the certain contrasting character, that is hereditary character, named as factor. So these contrasting characters are transferred from the parental to the next generation. That's why they are maintaining the hereditary characters. That rationale is named as empirical approach. Based on the empirical approach, he has framed the certain rules, that is laws, that are named as empirical laws. So these are all the analytical approach and empirical approach of Mendel. Dear students, in the previous paragraph we have seen what is reciprocal cross, how it is used in the monohybrid crosses. So reciprocal crosses mean, first he has chosen the tall pea plant which is pollinated with the pollen of dwarf pea plant. All are tall planted. Then he has changed the parental character, that is reversed the parental character. He has taken pollen from the tall pea plant and pollinated with the dwarf pea plant. At that time also, they have produced all tall plant. So, these are all the different activities which are proving the same answer, that is all are tall. This type of crosses are called reciprocal crosses. So, the monohybrid cross is not depending upon the sexual character. It is depending upon the morphological character. The next we have seen Mendel's analytical and empirical approach. Now, we are move on to the next cross, that is test cross. Dear students, what is test cross is the important 2-mark question. A test cross is the crossing of an individual of unknown genotype with a homozygous recessive. That means we have taken two parental characters, different parental characters, crossed together. We are getting the F1 generation. That F1 generation is once again crossed with a recessive parental plant. That is said to be test cross. F1 generation la vanda and the gamete marubadi edoda cross pandrom, crossed with the recessive parental plant or an organism. That type of cross is called a test cross. Once again, test cross is crossing in individual unknown genotype with a homozygous recessive parental plant. See, the Mendel's monohybrid cross in the F1 generation all are taller. In the F2 generation, they has given tall and a dwarf plant in the ratio of 3:1. Then several crosses also made by the Mendel. The cell-pollinated dwarf F2 plant and got dwarf plant in the F3 and F4 generation. So once again, we are crossing the F2 dwarf plant, that is recessive plant. He got dwarf plant in the F3 and F4 generation. So F1 generation only showing the dominant character, but remaining generation and all, we can able to see both dominant as well as the dwarf generations. So he has concluded that genotype of the dwarf was homozygous. It is same trait தான் இருக்கு இல்லையா, TT அப்படினால என்ன அர்த்தம், homozygous. Capital TT இருந்தாலும் homozygous tallன்னு சொல்கிறோம், small TT இருந்தால் homozygous dwarf அப்படின்னு சொல்கிறோம். So whatever may be, the genotype of the dwarf was homozygous, that is small TT. Then the genotype of the tall plant is, what is that one? Capital TT. The capital T and small t from F1 and F2 cannot be predicted. That is capital TT or capital T with small t from F1 and F2 cannot be predicted. But how we can tell if a tall plant is homozygous or heterozygous? That should be determined by the genotype of the tall plant crossed from the plant from F2 with the homozygous recessive dwarf plant. Then only we will get the heterozygous tall plant. Most probably, the F1 generation, we are getting heterozygous tall plant. When the F1 generation is crossed with one of the recessive dwarf plant, at that time, we will get the homozygous and heterozygous tall plant. That type of test is called a test cross. The progenies of the test cross can be easily analyzed to predict the genotype of the plant or the test organism. So the test cross only easily analyzed the genotypic ratio of an organism. So the pea plant, which are showing the typical test cross, that is dominant phenotype, is crossed with a recessive parent instead of self-crossing. We can able to get the homozygous tall plant as well as the heterozygous tall plant. That is dominant character. That is the advantage of test cross. So, what they are going to conclude in this paragraph means, what is test cross? The F1 generation which is crossed with recessive parent of the, that is recessive dwarf plant of the parental one, which are giving dwarf plant as well as the tall plant. But the F2, F3 generations which are showing homozygous dwarf plant, that is recessive plant, and also they are giving the homozygous tall plant as well as the heterozygous tall plant. That is the advantage of test cross. Dear students, with help of the diagrammatic representation, we are going to prove the heterozygous tall test cross. So first we are going to take the parental one. So dear students, kindly note down. We are taking the parent as an F1 generation gamete. F1 la varakuriya gamete da enna eduthukurom, parent ah first eduthukurom. So namakku enna varum monohybrid cross la capital TT, small tt eduthukurom. F1 generation na varum capital T with small t, isn't it? That is said to be heterozygous tall plant. That tall plant is crossed with recessive parental parent. Recessive parental plant. That's why they are given here. Parental phenotypes are F1 heterozygous tall, capital T, small t. Okay, is crossed with recessive parent. Recessive parent another small tt. So both of them same, that is named as homozygous dwarf. So we are getting the gamete, that is the alleles are segregated separately, capital T, small t, here small t, small t. Then these gametes are joined together to form a F1 genotype. What is the F1 genotype? Capital T with small t and small t with small t. That's all. So what is the genotypic ratio? One tall and one dwarf. That is the advantage of test cross. The phenotypic ratio is, what is that one? 1:1. But in the monohybrid cross, we are getting 3 tall plant and 1 dwarf plant, isn't it? Why it is happening? There is no cross between the recessive parent plant. அதுதான் முக்கியம். Parent plant நம்ம cross பண்ணல, அதே அப்படியே selfing பண்ணும். TT again selfing பண்ணும்போது we are getting 3 tall plant and 1 dwarf plant. That is quarter. Imagine if you are taking 1% means quarter percentage only we are getting the dwarf plant. Remaining 3 we are getting the tall plant. But in this test cross, the F1 generation is crossed with the recessive parent plant. Allah note பண்ணிக்கிங்க. The parent plant is homozygous dwarf. At that time we are getting equally tall plant as well as the dwarf plant. 1:1 ratio, that is 50%. 50% we are getting equally tall plant and dwarf plant. That is the advantage of test cross. See the Punnett square, the gametes capital T, small t from the female plant. Then male plant la capital T, small t. அதை நோட் பண்ணிக்க. நம்ம ஏற்கனவே பார்த்தோம் இல்லையா, a tall plant, pea plant அப்படின்னு பார்த்தோம், is pollinated with pollen of the dwarf plant ன்னு பார்த்தோம். அதுதான் என்னது இங்கே மேல் பிளான்ட். ஸோ ரெண்டுத்தையும் க்ராஸ் பண்ணும்பொழுது we are getting 2 homozygous dwarf plant and 2 heterozygous tall plant. So at the end of the test cross, we can able to get both homozygous and heterozygous tall plant கிடைக்குது. பட் த dwarf plant எல்லாமே பாருங்க எப்படி இருக்கு, எல்லாமே homozygous தான், heterozygous வரல. அதுதான் சொல்கிறாங்க. At the end of the test cross, we can able to get all the homozygous dwarf plant. tall plant நமக்கு எப்படி இருக்கு, heterozygous கிடைக்குது, homozygous கிடைக்கும். நெக்ஸ்ட் நம்ம பார்ப்போம். That is said to be the heterozygous tall test cross. Dear students, this is the homozygous tall test cross. So in the F1 generation, we are getting homozygous tall, that is capital TT, is crossed with the recessive parent, that is homozygous dwarf. The gametes are segregated. Then once again they are joined together, TT with a capital TT. So the phenotypic ratio, or what is that one? All are tall plant, tall, tall. The Punnett square is also proving that one. The female plants are tall, is crossed with, what is that one உங்களுக்கு? Dwarf homozygous plant. Here also homozygous. We are getting all are heterozygous tall plant. dwarf கிடையாது, எல்லாமே என்னவா இருக்கு உனக்கு, tall plant-ஆ இருக்கு, but heterozygous. So this is the another test cross which are proving the homozygous tall as well as the heterozygous tall. That is the advantage of test cross. With the help of test cross only, we can able to identify the homozygous tall plant as well as the heterozygous tall plants. Dear students, I hope have you all understood what is test cross, what is the advantage of test cross, how we can able to prove the heterozygous tall test cross and homozygous tall test cross. Remaining we will see in the next video class. God bless you. All the best children.